This is the Taeyangho, the highly secure and luxurious train used by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un for his rare international travels. He almost never leaves his country by air, opting instead for this so-called moving fortress. Currently, he has just departed Pyongyang, bound for the Vostochny Cosmodrome in Russia to meet Vladimir Putin. This journey will span approximately 2 days and cover over 1,000 kilometers through hostile terrain, where Kim has many enemies. So, how does the Taeyangho ensure his safety? Only a select few. North Koreans have access to the regular internet. If you're able to watch this video, you're likely living in a country that permits access to a wide array of websites and platforms, most of them anyway. NordVPN can help you bypass geo-blockings. Streaming sites like Disney Plus often have drastically different catalogs depending on your location. Select a country and enjoy content that's usually not available in your area. Platforms like Booking.com often show different prices in different countries as well. Use a VPN to find the cheapest offer and save some money. Additionally, the built-in dark web monitor can notify you when your personal data is being leaked online. And threat protection can block harmful advertising and trackers. Go to nordvpn.com/furtive and get an extra 4 months on a 2-year plan. Plus, a 30-day money-back guarantee for your secure online journey. We appreciate NordVPN for sponsoring this episode. By checking them out, you support our reporting. The Taeyangho is not alone. It's escorted by 2 additional trains. One travels ahead, meticulously checking for dangers like planted explosives on the tracks or ambushes along the sides. The other secures the rear, filled with heavily armed security personnel ready to rush to the Supreme Leader's rescue if needed. A helicopter scouts the area ahead, accompanying the convoy throughout Kim's journey through North Korean territory. Cargo planes are also strategically stationed with additional personnel at the closest airports along the route. The Taeyangho itself is an engineering marvel designed for survival. It boasts reinforced bulletproof windows, and its walls and bottom are hardened to withstand explosions. Multiple compartments carry heavy weaponry. The train is equipped to fight back against attacks from above with anti-aircraft missiles. It also carries anti-tank missiles and 2 machine guns to aggressively fend off attacks from either side of the tracks. If all defenses fail, the train even carries a helicopter so Kim can flee from the scene. These protective measures make Kim's train extremely safe, but also extremely heavy. As a result, the Taeyangho travels at only 60 kilometers per hour, sometimes even slower due to the poor condition of railways in North Korea. When the train passes by a station, the power is cut off on all other tracks. There are even 20 railway stations in the country that were built solely for the exclusive use of this one train. Because of the slow speeds, Kim might be on the road for several days on end, just like during this particular trip to meet Putin. On board is everything he needs to govern his country day and night. This includes an office with a desk, laptop, television, fax machine, satellite phone, and a map of China and the Korean Peninsula on the wall. There's also a reception room and a meeting room with a large table. The interior style is quite eclectic, with most rooms being entirely white with shiny wooden floors, green, and hot pink sofas, ivory and turquoise curtains, flower-shaped lamps, and zebra-patterned fabric seats. But the highlight of the train is arguably the restaurant. On board, you can find all sorts of delicacies from Korean, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and French cuisine. Kim Jong-un won't get bored during the journey either, as the train has singers on board who serenade the Supreme Leader personally. Upon stepping off the train, 2 armored Mercedes limousines are unloaded for the last mile of his journey. Train travel has a long tradition in the Kim family. At the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, where the remains of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il are laid to rest, you'll find life-size models of their personal train carriages right next to their remains. There's even said to be a painting of Kim Jong-il proudly standing next to his train, and a map with small lights shows the many journeys they took. Taking the train started as a safety precaution. Kim Jong-il was reportedly also just a bit afraid of flying. In 2001, he took a train journey lasting almost a month, all the way to Moscow, covering a total of 20,000 kilometers. A Russian official named Konstantin Pulikovsky accompanied him. After the journey, he published a book about his experiences. much to the irritation of both the Russian and North Korean governments. That's because for a long time the Korean leaders' trains were shrouded in utter mystery. It was never announced when they would move or where, and the interior was largely kept secret. In 2004, Kim Jong-il's train passed the Ryongchun station near the border with China. Just hours later, a massive explosion killed about 160 people and injured 1,300 more. Supposedly, a train parked at the station, laden with oils and chemicals, hit power lines. There were speculations that this might have been an assassination attempt, which isn't entirely unlikely, given the many reports of internal power struggles in North Korea over the decades. The security of the train was reportedly boosted after the incident. In 2009, Russian photographers were banned from taking pictures of the train, while it was en route to then-President Dmitry Medvedev. Entire villages in Siberia were even instructed to stay indoors until the train had passed. In the era of smartphones, such secrecy is no longer fully possible and in some cases, not entirely desired because the train also serves propaganda purposes. The Taeyangho, fittingly meaning sun, has become a powerful symbol for North Korea. Kim Jong-un is said to use it to appear down-earth and close to the people. In stark contrast to the lofty image of the U.S. president with his giant jumbo jet, political leaders traveling by train is, in one way or another, a symbol. After the invasion of Ukraine, the airspace above the country became unsafe, and many Western leaders started to visit Kyiv by train through Poland, a practice coined as iron diplomacy. In the case of North Korea, the Taeyangho in some ways accentuates just how uniquely isolated the country is. The supreme leaders rarely, or perhaps never, visit most parts of the world. There's also a certain irony in the train supposedly symbolizing the modesty of the Kim family, as its journeys always have a destination. Kim's train finally arrives at the Vostechny Cosmodrome. He is greeted with one of the longest and perhaps most uncomfortable handshakes in history. Then Putin gives him the full tour: a spaceport, an aircraft factory, and the Pacific Fleet. Later, there's vodka, a ballet performance, and a walrus show. The reason the two men meet, however, is quite serious. Russia is running low on ammunition and allies in its war against Ukraine. North Korea has enormous stocks of ammo and is not afraid to supply it. In return, the country could receive technical support from Russia for building new satellites and missiles for its nuclear weapons program. No official outcome has been announced. But Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov recently visited Pyongyang shortly after the meeting. He thanked North Korea for its support in the Ukraine conflict and reaffirmed the partnership between both countries. North Korea, in turn, officially recognized the territories captured by Russia as Russian sovereign territory. Lavrov didn't commit on weapons deliveries, but according to the U.S. government, North Korea has already delivered over 1,000 containers of ammunition and military equipment to Russia. North Korea and Russia both have very few international allies left. While the Taeyangho tries to be a symbol of power for North Korea, it is also a sign of the country's deep isolation. Vladimir Putin has accepted an offer to visit Kim Jong-un in return. This would be a good chance for him to take his very own ghost train journey.